Obviously in the trailers for Life by You, they've only really showed us the adult life stage, but they're actually giving us some information now about all of the other life stages in the game. So short story shorter, firstly, during early access, teens, adults, and elders will be available during the early access. So what this suggests is that they've already established these life stages fully, well, not fully because it's still early access, but they've got them to the point where they're ready to play. They have also announced other life stages being infants, toddlers, and children, which will not be available during early access. They've said that these life stages have been play tested and they've been working on them, but they don't feel like they're polished enough to be available in the early access. Exciting though, they've said that aging follows the progression of in-game time and they age up every single year in-game. They've said that the visuals and animations are tied to each life stage, so I don't think gradual aging will be a thing visually. I think their age on paper will go up and up and up, but I believe visually they will change depending on the life stage. But I have a feeling it might be a little bit different to The Sims. We're gonna have to wait and see. Also, we haven't actually seen the teen life stage yet in terms of visuals. I'm really hoping that teens look different from adults. I really am praying, because honestly, the worst thing is in The Sims, I know you've all had the exact same thing happen to you, where you get your adult sim to try and flirt with another sim and you're like, why isn't this working? And then you realize, oh, it's because they're a teen. Because they literally look exactly the same in The Sims. Like, they're literally no different. It's impossible to tell. So I'm really hoping in Life by You that they do visually look very different, but we're gonna have to wait and see. They've also given us a few hints about dating. They said that dating will unlock from teen onwards, and they have teen specific interactions, being about being teenage sweethearts with custom dialogues, but then when they go into adults, they get the more adult romantic interactions. They've also said transportation will be age specific, so from children onwards they'll be able to use transport. Obviously you can't use a car if you're a child, but you will be able to use, you know, bicycles and skateboards, so they've made those age specific. They've also said that they've made conversations a lot more unique depending on the life stages. I know a really big thing that they seem to be pushing with their marketing is all the different conversation things and how you can customize them. They said that there'll be custom special kind of conversations for kids and interactions between parent and child. So when parents communicate with children, they'll talk about different things, something you have to pay for with DLC in The Sims 4. That was catty. That was really catty of me. I'm sorry, I apologize. I shouldn't have done that. But guys, really exciting, right? So they've spoken about schools and jobs. What we do know firstly is that jobs will be a live thing and not a rabbit hole experience. Adults can go to work and they can perform careers. They haven't mentioned if teens can have teen-related jobs. They literally just haven't said anything about it. But what they did say in regards to children was there are plans to have children's schools, which will not be rabbit holes, which is so exciting. They said it will follow a very similar gameplay mechanic to jobs. So I guess that's comparable to the live careers in The Sims 4, maybe high school years, the high school live thing. And I am tremendously excited to take my kids to school. I know people have wanted that for The Sims ever since like The Sims 2. People have been so hard on being able to follow your kids to school. And I genuinely think it's amazing if you can actually do that, because it gives you a new way to play. Because, you know, a life simulation game isn't, even though most of us play with adults, it's not necessarily an adult life simulator. Sometimes it's be fun to follow your kids to school. And I think that's so exciting that it's going to be a live thing. I'm assuming it's a base game thing. They haven't said directly, but they've suggested that it will be base game. The only caveat to that is that they've said it's not coming out on the early access release. They said that they have plans to add it eventually. What does eventually mean? Does it mean during the end stages of early access? Does it mean after early access? Does it mean at the start of it, you know, being full access, not early access? Does it mean after the base game has been officially released for a long time? What does that mean? We don't know. I do hope they make it ready for full release. That really would be a game changer and it would be pretty amazing. But even more interestingly too, they did mention university gameplay. They've mentioned university gameplay is not planned for the base game, as they've described it as a deep topic with a lot of design implications for the game. I don't know what that means. Well, I kind of do know what that means. What that basically means is. It's a lot of effort and they're just going to upsell it as DLC. That's all it means. There will be a university DLC at some point, allegedly. That's the only way I can see it. So it looks like we've got our first bit of DLC confirmed. No, to be fair, I can see university being DLC because I guess that is quite like a niche topic because it's not something that everybody does. You know, everybody goes to school and everybody has a job, but not everybody goes to university. So I actually don't have a problem with universities being DLC. Obviously, it depends on how it's being implemented. So I just put gum in my mouth. I just had a KFC. I don't know about anybody else, but like when I eat meat, my breath stinks and I feel gross. I am normally vegan. I'm vegan. Do you know what? I'm vegan like a good 70% of the time, all right? But like when I eat meat, I need a bit of gum. I've gone off tangent. I'm sorry. They've literally officially described Life by You as a base game, which means there will be DLC. I know you guys will think I'm this bitter hater that hates DLC. It's all cash grabby. It depends on how it's implemented, honestly. You know, if we suddenly get laundry DLC, buy detergent for $4.99 like that, I'm not down with that. If it's like a university pack, I am down with that. That sounds pretty cool. By the looks of it and by the sounds of it, the base game is going to be really, really full with a lot of stuff. Obviously, like we don't have any like proper gameplay other than the original trailer. So I think it's valid to look at it with skepticism, but for what it's worth, like so far we've got confirmed schools may be coming eventually, and we've got jobs coming with it, and we've got like shops you could go in. Like that's all I want. Do you know what, honestly, like in The Sims 4, the only packs that I use, well, the only one pack I do really use is Get to Work, because I just love going in shops and making shops. One thing that they haven't mentioned though for Life by You is restaurants. Weirdly, they haven't showcased any of it. They haven't spoken about like other kind of community lots other than workplaces. So I don't really know how it's going to be with, you know, obviously we know we're getting shops, but you know, are we going to be getting restaurants too? Are we going to be getting a cinema or something? They say they're not going to have rabbit hole experiences. Honestly, I couldn't think of anything worse than having to like micromanage my character walking in a cinema. Like I'd rather just have that be a rabbit hole, but they haven't said they're putting that in there. I would like to know like what other community lot things that they will be adding. If it's just like parks, then I'm going to be a little bit disappointed because like I want more than that, especially seeing that Life by You seems to be the kind of game that's very focused on literally being anybody anywhere at any time. I'd like to think that there's going to be more of a communal vibe to it because it's got an open world, but we'll have to see. It seems to be fair though, they are quite transparent with their development cycle. I know a lot of video game publishers are like zip-locked and they don't want to say anything, but it seems like they're being very open. I think being very open is very dangerous because you always get people with criticism and skepticism. This game is going to crash and burn because I haven't seen any gameplay yet. And it's like, well, that's the point. The point is you're giving people a sneak peek before it's ready. But in some ways it's a good thing because I feel like with all of their marketing, they do say things like a Life by You is because it's by you, you decide. So it feels like they are putting a lot of emphasis on collecting community feedback even before it's in early access. So it seems like it's a game that's being made like for the player. So I guess that's a good thing, but obviously we do have to be a bit skeptical. Could be shite on release. I hope it's not because I'm very much looking forward to it. Anyways, just a quick little news update video today. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one.